Hello, hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly, and we are going to be having a little natter today about Kudus's future. If you enjoy this video, please take a second to give it a thumbs up while the intro video runs. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Yes, West Ham Network. So it is time to chat about all things Mohamed Kudus. There was a time when we once thought that Mohamed Kudus's release clause, it was not high enough. He was worth more than that at that moment in time. He was one of our brightest hopes. He was getting better pretty much every game, and we felt that excitement when he got on the ball and he brought us some pace, and it was all quite fun. But since something has shifted, and we now find ourselves in the position where a lot of fans have been calling for quite a while for him to leave. And at a time where it's more important than ever before for us to go and get some money back that we can reinvest, he is arguably one of our best assets and one of our easiest ways to be able to strengthen our squad by parting ways this summer. We signed him for £38 million as a reminder, so the likelihood of making a profit on him looks pretty good. So you could call that a good bit of business. The question is, do we want to get rid of him? Because the drop off between two seasons has been remarkable. Last year, he played 45 games for West Ham, he scored 14 goals and he got 9 assists. And then you compare that to this season, he's played 35 games, he scored 5 goals and he's got 4 assists. But it's not just the numbers that are the problem, it's the way in which he's playing. And the sad thing is, he just doesn't look like he's got that same confidence that he did have that made him run on the ball, made him drive us forwards. And that gives us two options. Number one, we sell him for probably a lot less than his release clause that we once thought was a bargain. Or number two, we hold on to him and we hope to bring him back to that level that we have seen him play at. Now, it's brought up a lot of debate. As a reminder, his release clause is £80 million for European clubs, £85 million to Premier League clubs, and £120 million for Saudi sides to get a signature. But these release clauses are only valid for the first 10 days of July. And if any of these are activated during those 10 days, it means that we've got time to find a replacement. So it makes that 10-day limit a pretty wise bit of business, because at the top of his game, if there was loads of competition and everyone comes flying in to get his signature at the beginning of July, it means we've got the rest of the window to replace him. We obviously find ourselves in a bit of a different position to that at the moment, but running through what those release clauses mean, you have to accept a bid during this time if the value is met by another club. Obviously, the players do still have a say in it, because if a player just refused to go, the club wouldn't want the player. So it is a little bit of back and forth like that. But if more than one club offers the value that you set as your release clause, then the player basically comes to a decision as to where they want to go. But before that or after that, we can, of course, as a club, West Ham, choose to sell Kudus for whatever we're happy with. So it doesn't have to be for the release clause. It's just that your hands are tied a little bit if a club comes in and offers that release clause in the first 10 days of July. Now, the difficult bit is that given his form and the negative PR surrounding Kudus, that everyone's saying he's dipped in form, he's got no confidence, everything's gone wrong, we need to get rid of him, there's not a very big chance of him having high demand. And this means that clubs are not going to be desperate to pay the release clause to guarantee his signature, and therefore they're going to wait, because why on earth would they pay a premium when no one else is competing for him? You would come in and you'd say to West Ham, look, come recover what you can, we'll offer you this, and you'd lowball us, which is probably what is going to happen this summer. But this puts us in the position and the situation where we've got to ask, how much is Kudus worth to us? Obviously, you almost have to look into the future and work out whether it's worth more for us to reinvest 40 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil, 70 mil, whatever you could get for him elsewhere, or whether he's just going to pick up in form again and maybe you'll be like, I can't believe we got rid of him, or maybe he'll dip in form and do nothing and go in the free in however many years. Realistically, I think the club will be listening to fair offers, but he's still under contract with us until the summer of 2028. He's only 24, which means he should still hold a decent amount of value. So yeah, that's kind of the situation as such. But now I'm going to be putting that question to you. What is the minimum that you would be happy to sell Kudus for? Because it's definitely an interesting one that's got my brain ticking. And when I asked on social media, it's caused quite the stir, because answers have ranged from a tenner to a pie and mash to saying not a single penny under the release clause. And there are obviously such different answers, because you've got to consider we're paying him decent wages. And if he's not performing and not bringing anything to us, then getting rid of him makes sense, and recovering at least what we bought him for, hopefully making a profit. We part ways, we make a profit, and we say, thank you, goodbye. And we put that money in elsewhere where hopefully it benefits us more next season than it would have benefited us having Kudus at West Ham. Or it just becomes risky to work out what to do, because ultimately you need a crystal ball so you can see into the future. Obviously, those saying not a single penny under the release clause value, I don't know if anyone's going to come in for the release clause value. And then the question I have for anyone that's saying that is, do we just hold on to him then until he disappears on a free in the summer of 2028? Because I don't know if, unless we can perform miracles with him, if anyone will ever meet that release clause. Or do you give it another year and see what happens? So I'm really intrigued as to, out of principle, of course, we shouldn't do it for more than the less than the release clause. But I think when you take a look at how he's actually performing and the chances of anyone actually paying that, you have to look at whether it's worth us hanging on or whether we could just do with whatever money we can get now. But other clubs know this. So essentially our bargaining tools are not very good right now, because everyone knows that we just need a bit of money and that he's not performing. But that could mean that we keep Kudus for another season or two, performing at the same level potentially, instead of getting 65, 70 mil that we could spend elsewhere. We could make a decent profit. We could part ways. And personally, I would say that's what's most likely to happen, just because I think we just need money. And I'm really keen for us not to sell Guilherme. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I just feel like we bought him as a bright prospect. When he has stepped up to the Premier League level, he hasn't looked out of place, which I think says a lot for someone that's not had a lot of game time. And he's young as well, and I just want to see what he's capable of. And I'm intrigued as to what we saw in him originally, because I'm seeing glimpses of something that's really promising. And I think Guilherme is one where we could make a lot of profit as well. But I almost don't want us to cut that project off too short. And I don't even know how much money we'd get for him, given that he's quite unproven. He's not had much time. Whereas I do feel like Kudus could get a hefty chunk of money for us. So yeah, give us your opinion down below in the comments section. Would you say goodbye to Kudus if we were offered 40 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil, 70 mil? I want to know what your limit is where you'd say, let's just keep him. Because it's a difficult one, because if everyone wants to keep him, but also doesn't want him to play or doesn't want him to start or gets frustrated every time he plays, I'd arguably say it's better to have parted ways and got what you could for him, rather than it just being a sour situation for everyone. It's difficult, but that is the world of football, isn't it? Everything's a gamble, because we don't know whether he's going to become the next Mbappe or Haaland, or whether he's going to just disappear into oblivion. But these are the risks we take. This is the joy of football, if you can call it that. So let me know your thoughts. And that is all from me for now. But until next time, thank you so much, as always, for watching. We really do appreciate it. Tune in at 5 p.m. where I'm going to be running through your Hammers headlines for today. We've got some good ones. We've got some rumours that are changing constantly as well. As always, we talk about the transfer rumours, and you can guarantee within half a second of recording it that there's been another update. But until that pen is on the paper, we know it's never done. But I'm here to report the rumours, state the sources, get us all talking, get us debating it, and having a load of fun along the way. So thank you so much, as always, for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment. And if you're new around here, please subscribe, because all of those things go such a massive way to supporting the channel. And we love all of you. So thank you. Have a brilliant day, whatever you're up to, wherever you are. Happy hump day. Until next time, come on, you Irons. Irons.